Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. Gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. Gonna ride till I can't no more. Got the horses in the back. Horses try to eat the catch. Yeah, I should probably stop singing. It just helps me, but I'm not gonna sing. Take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Take my take my horse to the old town road. Ride till I can't no more. Take my heart, old town road. I'm gonna ride. Take my heart. I can't no more. I can't no more. Take my heart.
Alright, I'm gonna leave if you don't stop singing. Alright, I'm unfriending you.
No, don't. I'll stop singing.
Stop singing. Alright, baby. Baby, what is your live stream, baby? I'm not gay no more. I used to be good with a man named Panda PG. PG.
Hey.
Hey, Batman, you know, I used to be gay. My boyfriend.
Yeah, I know. I saw you and him in the bathroom.
Really?
You're like, he was like, oh.
Bro, you're gonna like this.
Dude, I swear.
Bro, I just say, dude, I swear. But why are you letting that to the block?
What?
Why are you letting me now? Why are you letting at the block?
Wait, are you being racist right now?
What?
Are you being racist right now?
Yeah, I'm wearing a bush changer.
No, I think this man's actually being racist.
Wait a minute, it's Robot Man. I just changed my username.
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Baby, how's your boyfriend doing? Baby, how's your girlfriend doing? Baby, how's your boyfriend doing?
Report to PS4, yes.
Hey bro, I don't give a fuck her girlfriend how she poops her ass. I'll poop out of her ass. Report to PS4, yes.
Take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't.
How would you feel if I had to do that to your girlfriend all night?
I wouldn't really care. She's not that bad enough to share. I'll let her share.
What?
I'll let share.
And I won't work it out.
Ain't nobody gonna be nothing.
Hey bro, how's your girlfriend doing? How'd she get grounded?
Oh, she was at my house whenever she wasn't supposed to, and I didn't know that. And then her dad blamed it on me.
But let me fuck your girlfriend. My friend said let me fuck your girlfriend. I brought it back. I have to go fuck my girlfriend. Oh yeah.
Ride till I can't no more. Low-key a sweat though? Ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing. I'm gonna hit the gathering and pop it, girl in the head. Ain't nobody tell me nothing.
Sorry about that, bro. Be back.
Old Tom Road, I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Take me down to the Old Tom Road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Take me down to the Old Tom Road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Take me out to the Old Tom Road. Gonna ride till I can't no more. Hey, take me out to the old road. Gonna ride till I can't no more. Take me out to the Old Town Road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Take me out to the old road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Take me out to the old ball game. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Take me out to the old ball game. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Me out to the old ball game. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Take me out to the old ball game. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Take me out to the old ball game. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Take me out to the old ball game. Oh, I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Take me out to the whole ball game. Take me down to the Old Town Road. Ride till I can't no more. Take me whole ball game. Gonna take me down to the whole ball game. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Take me out to the whole ball game. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Take me out to the whole ball game. I'm gonna wait. What? What are you talking about? Oh, this man has aimbots. He has aimbot. Yeah. Offensive name. B. And then I'm gonna report him for this. Cheating and hacking. Dude, I'm gonna watch this, man. Who is it? Yes, my good sir. If you need me, I'll be in mine soon. She's let me something there. Can I come sit with you? No, let me go check on Mama. See if she's okay. Mama, you okay? See you in the morning. Love you. You want anything to drink or anything? No. Mama? You want anything to drink?
Hey baby, I'm just kidding, I'm not chasing you.
better not. You're mean and you're rude. I hope you can. Wow, at least I can do this now. I'm gonna cry till I can't no more. Take me down to those I'm oak. Cry till I can't no more. Take me.
Happens next is unpredictable. So, guys, wish us luck. All I need from you guys as a good luck is to like this stream. Make sure you guys like the stream, like the video if you guys are watching this later as a video. If you guys haven't already. Oh my gosh, guys. Alright, keep going. What's over here?
I need zombies.
Okay, I'm following you. There might be another spawner. There might be another spawner.
Sure.
Keep going, guys.
I should bust Gavin's head in.
I'll block off the water source.
I should really bust this happen.
Yo, what's good, yo? I'm actually making a video today, like, going into, like, squad fill, going into, like, saying that I don't have, like, any skins, like, I actually have a default, but little do they know I actually have, like, a couple of rare skins, one of the rare skins in the game, the Recon Expert. They don't know I have that, so, like, there was a couple people trying to roast me and stuff, and I thought it was pretty funny. Make sure you guys do hit that sub button, hit that like button. If you guys can follow my socials down in the description. I have all my socials there, if you guys can follow my Instagram and stuff like that. I really appreciate it. And another way you guys can support me is like using code Carlitos in the item shop. I really appreciate it. And other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys. Peace.
Yo, look at this vibe. Look at this vibe, bro.
Why are you guys trying to roast me, bro? I haven't even loaded in game, bro.
Yo, look at
Look, come here, bro. Come here. Just because you guys got Score Trooper Ariel, bro, look at me, bro. Hey,
oh my god. Can you even count 600, dude?
Bro.
I bet he doesn't even know how to do challenges, bro.
Oh my god, bro. Just because I'm a default, bro, you guys really trying to roast me? Just because I'm a default, bro, you guys really...
And underscore, bro. Look at this vibe. I bet he started in CZ6, bro.
ZDC. You guys know what, bro? Listen, bro. I'll do this. Look, listen. If I actually, like, die last and, like, I'm carrying you guys for a little bit, you guys have to add me, and we're 1v winning, bro.
Okay, bet. Free claps.
You know what? I got a surprise for you guys, too, inside the lobby, bro.
There's no surprise. Yeah, the default dance. Is that a surprise?
Yeah, sort of, man.
What are you gonna put out, the Season 8 Battle Pass? Bro.
Nah, it's all good. Just because I'm a default, bro. You gotta
Oh
respect
my
the default.
god, bro.
Look at you guys, bro. You guys are already dying, bro. Like, come on now, bro.
He's a sweaty, bro.
Come on, bro. I'm over here looting, you guys are dying, bro. Like, that's kind of sad, bro, to be honest.
Oh my god, I got rocked.
You guys are already all dead, bro? Alright, I guess that's a 1v1 right there, right? That's a 1v1 right there, bro. To be honest.
I'm out of here.
Alright, bro. Let me just die real quick, bro. Like, I'm literally just gonna rush everybody I see, bro. Cause you guys are actually like bots, bro.
Dude, we literally just spawned with no gun.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
I was trying to sweat, bro.
Nice accuracy,
Look at
buddy.
that, bro.
That was a free kill, bro.
Look at, bro. I'm over here carrying you guys already, bro. Don't
Carrying
make fun of me.
one
Just
kill.
cause I'm a default, bro.
Oh my god, bro.
Clap you. No way you kill him, bro. No
Look
way.
at that. Get
Oh
out my
my
game.
god,
You're
bro.
fucking trash.
Get out my game.
Think you're good because you pickaxe him?
Yes, I think I'm good for that pickaxe, bro. Like, you guys are weird. Really trying to make fun of my default, bro. Eat that. Eat that.
Oh my god, bro.
That's no issue, bro. Aim assist? Okay,
Free kills
buddy.
right there. How are you getting free kills?
These kids are easy, bro. Like, I do this on the daily. Drop 20 bombs like this nothing. Come on, man, bro. You guys are weird.
You have
Making
2
fun of a
SMGs in your
default.
inventory. What are you doing?
Look at this, bro.
Lock my
Wow.
default.
Oh my god, bro. We're playing the biggest spots, bro.
Wow, like, they literally have no
Look at
gun.
this,
Yo,
bro.
look at this.
Literally wiping people out, bro. You guys are weird. Making fun of a default.
Yeah, you got flat.
Oh my god.
Get on my game, bro. Like, you guys are literally trash getting carried, but you know what? I'll literally just commit suicide right now, bro. Just so I can 1v1 you guys.
Yeah, because you're bad.
Just like a 1v1 you guys, bro.
No, it's because now there's no more bots,
Nah,
bro.
just cause I want to 1v1 you guys, bro.
Yeah, he's scared, bro.
Look at my 90,
What are
bro.
you doing? Bro, what are those?
I'm committing suicide, GG's. I want to 1v1 you
I
guys.
edit faster on my calculator.
Alright, you know what? You guys, listen, bro. I'm adding you guys, bro. I'm adding you guys, bro. You guys are literally about to get flopped, bro. I added you guys. That's it, bro. Add me back. We're running it up on 1v1, bro. That's it. Bro, these kids are really making fun of me, bro. Just because I don't got the battle pass, really trying to make fun of me, bro. Alright, let me join you real quick. Yo, bruh.
Bye.
We got a bot. Come on, bro.
Bruh, come on now, bruh. Look, you know what, bruh? You guys want to know something crazy? You guys want to know something crazy? Watch this, bruh.
That's crazy, bro.
Watch this.
Come on now.
Crazy.
Oh my god! Yo, what the fuck? Yo, Recon! Oh my god! Yo, yes, Recon, bro!
Really trying to make fun of me, bruh.
You're still trash, bro.
What the fuck? You're a Recon expert? Oh my
Bro, like, come
god!
on now, bro. You guys are really garbage.
It's coded, bro. Yeah, how's your skin spawn?
Yeah, it's coded in.
Alright, buddy.
Come on,
Alright, you know what? Just run up the
We're
1v1,
fast,
bro.
buddy.
Run up the 1v1. That's it, bro. You guys are about to get bobbed. That's
You're gonna get clapped out of the way.
Alright,
You
buddy.
called a Recon out of the way, you're getting clapped. Come on.
Yo, bro, now cause I got recon, bro, like, you guys really trying to, like, be my friend now, huh?
Bro,
Just, like,
get off your cousin's account, though, guys.
my cousin's account? Alright, buddy, that's tough.
Get off your cousin John.
Skin swapper?
Is it your
I never
cousin
heard of that,
John's
man.
account, dude?
I never heard of skin
Never heard of skin
swapper before.
swapper? Wait. Yo, I'll go first.
Who's going first, bro? The Sport Trooper going first? Alright, bro.
Wait. I want to know one thing first.
Yo, what's good?
Is it your cousin John's account?
Nah, bro, like, this is my
That's
account, bro.
Jose. It's
Alright,
his cousin Jose.
Alright.
We wasted too much time on this, bro. Clap him up real quick for this.
to be honest.
Wow, he got an early start.
But I really messed up my 90s, bro. That's tough.
A bot. Looks like you know he's big.
Yo, what are you doing? Come
Watch this, watch this edit on you.
Pickaxe him, please.
Look at you, bro. Get out of here, bro.
What are you doing, bro? Come on, bro.
Fake
Bro,
recon.
come on, bro.
Nah, fake recon.
I'm
That's
going
tough,
second,
bro.
bro.
I'm literally about to clap you the same
You're
age.
calling that scam. We all know it,
You're
bro.
gonna clap me.
Alright, buddy. I'm
This is
literally
the
about to
best
clap
skin
you,
in the
bro.
game.
Come on, bro. You got this. Come on now.
Let's go, bro.
Yeah, bro.
High ground.
I'm about to break you down, and then it's my high ground. Easy. Simple, bro.
Stop overbuilding, bro. Come on.
Simple, bro. Actually get on my game. And... bro, really? Like, come on now. Can't even keep high ground on me, bro. Really trying to talk it back.
Oh my god! I'm stuck! I can't
Oh my god. Alright, chill. Hello, hi, howdy. Boy! So I've been playing lots of creative with subscribers. It's been a lot of fun. Here's a video of that fun. Hope you enjoy. Yeah, I did that intro in one take. Let's go, baby. Yeah, I'm so proud of myself. Let's go.
I have F's in school, yeah. I want to study, yeah. I watch all these videos instead of work, yeah.
Yeah, they're so mean.
I'm good.
I believe in you.
Okay. Hitting the tree. Hitting the tree. I found a bee. Ooh. The bee is a she. Ooh. Bee killed me.
Oh, snap! Oh, he died, bro.
I watched the fearless video. He said, Dickie Day.
Okay.
This guy is gay.
Okay.
I don't care, he's still great.
Sure.
Don't mess with him or he'll suck your feet.
What?
I've been running on the street.
Okay.
And then I just leave.
Okay. That's it. Alright, I give you a. Nah, it's okay. 3.5. Alright, 4. Who's next?
People call me Dee. I don't call people Dee, but people call my hair nappy, but they don't like me nappy.
Bars! Bro, you're insane! You're insane! Bro, my headphones are on fire!
I think it's different.
Me? Alright, I got you.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Finally.
Bars, oh my god. Put this on SoundCloud.
There's a lot of people here.
You got this.
Okay, ready? Y'all ready?
Yeah.
I might it's gonna be so fire your computer might overheat. So like, you sure about this?
Don't worry.
I play on my Xbox.
I know we're playing creative, but this might turn into like Florida's Lava real quick. 'Cause I'm about to drop some bars.
Go ahead.
I'm about to start a forest fire. You sure about this?
Yes, go ahead.
Bro, you better freestyle around too.
Alright, ready?
Fire.
Okay. A, B, C, D. What comes after D? E,
You're a big
F, G, H, I, J, L, and O, P. Cyrus, shut up. Thank you. I'm sorry to shut up with the two guys, but I'm sorry. Simon says, "Can you please refrain from speaking?" Simon says, T-Pass. look at the default, bro. Look at the default. He's all sad. Default. Okay, Simon says it's okay. Simon says, bless Simon. Not man. Simon says buy the skin. I'm kidding. Simon says, tell me a joke. Alright, whoever said my mom, this is your mom. I'll show you. Simon asks, what system are you playing on? Simon says, turn it off. Do it. Simon says don't do it. I was kidding. Stop. Simon says stop. Simon says, are you going to TwitchCon?
No.
Are you going to SourceCon? Yo, who got the Jeep Wrangler in the back? For real? You're ruining the video. Simon says roast the default. Yeah, I don't care. Do it. What? Oh my! Simon says, make the sound of a fish. Simon says, scream. What kind of scream was that? Are you a dinosaur? What? Simon says, read your name tag. Yeah. No, like on your shirt, little thing says. Oh, it says Becky? I didn't know it says Becky.
I was born with a disease. It's called can't look that far enough down.
Oh, I heard about that. Okay, Simon says, give us your best pickup line. You're an angel? No. This is like a talent show thing. All of you, one by one, we're gonna come up here and say a joke or do something funny. And if we like it, you stay alive. If you don't like it, you die. Okay?
Okay, where do cows go on a first date?
Where?
To the movies. Terrible. You're right.
Okay, buddy. That's it. That was even worse.
What happens when a frog gets pulled over?
What?
What happens at toad?
Kill him. Kill him. Yep, next!
What I'm gonna be doing is my dance.
Trash! Next! Next!
I gotta go. I'm gonna shoot you. How do you get I want you in the gun with my bun. With my bun.
Next!
What do you do when you kill someone?
What?
It's bad.
Really? Really? You guys have the lamest jokes? Like, that's not funny. That's not funny. Come on, dude.
I'm sorry that I didn't prepare my script. Yo, I soaked up. I soaked up Fortnite.
Okay.
I soaked up Fortnite. When I shot at you, I was done.
No, keep going, keep going. Keep going.
I often just push him. I often die. That's, when I get one, I cry.
Hey! You win.
Taking over, there's no escape. You better get moving, body on
Not Johnson's there. Barbecue. Barbecue chicken. That was amazing.
Who's that?
Yo.
Yahoo.
Search engine.
That was a good one though, Yahoo. That was good, buddy. Alright, my turn. I got a joke. If it's not funny, pretend to laugh, please. Fake laugh, thank you. Okay. How do you make a waterbed more bouncy? You add spring water?
Nobody has gifted me anything in my life.
What gifted you a mom and a dad? Fearless, buy me some vegan water.
Bro, shut up.
Fearless, I told her how I felt, right? And she said I look like Franklin.
My mom and dad let me stay up, and so I don't have to go to bed till 9:30. I can stay up until you get up.
Simon says, thank your parents for me.
Mom and Dad! Dylan says thank you! Do you want me to get them in my room? I got you down.
Yeah, sure, if you can.
He wants to talk to you, okay? So, he wants to talk to you. What?
Whoa, watch you! Was that your voice? You just killed me.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. You just killed me in the game. That's so mean.
Oh, I didn't kill you in the game.
Oh, your son did. It's okay.
Well, I dropped his, thing.
Okay, yeah, that might have accidentally killed me. It's fine though. I just want to say thank you.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Thanks for being a cool mom.
Well, thanks. He's a cool kid, and he thinks you're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Gotta make him happy.
True. You're a great mom.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you single?
Alright, Fearless, you gotta put this in the video, bro. I'm doing this
for you, alright?
Oh my god.
You already know I like art. But there's other things to me, you know? Aside from art, I like other things too. Like art. In instrument form. When I was 5 years old, my mom put me in piano lessons. And even though I didn't understand what piano really was at the time, it just became a part of me as I grew up, and I still enjoy it to this day. If you didn't know I play piano, then you must be very new here. Do your research. I literally posted a piano video like, what is it, 6 videos ago? Nah, just pulling your leg. It's fine if you didn't know. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. But I mean, it was only 6 videos ago. So, I took lessons at this little place down the road. It was quaint and homey, just a really great atmosphere. The owner was this sweet old lady, and she had so much passion for running the place and teaching kids piano. It was great. Until around 8 years later when the place was bought out by another owner. I don't know the exact details, but I'm assuming it was because the place was going downhill a bit and the owner couldn't keep it. So now the little piano place is being run by new people, and they sucked. They literally had no care or respect for the place and only wanted to make money. All the passion was gone, and you could feel the life drain out of the poor place every day. They branched out.
Hello, my name is Ashley, and I'm 14 years old. I care a lot about my school achievements and keeping a low profile, but my older brother Matthew is the exact opposite. Matt and I were very close growing up. He always treated me like a princess. However, with time we grew apart, especially since Matt started high school. He changed a lot. He started hanging out with the wrong crowd, and dating random girls that always got him in trouble. On top of that, he smoked and drank alcohol with his cool friends. But that's all I knew about his crazy lifestyle, which I was sure there was more to. Because of his life choices that I didn't approve of, it was hard for us to get along anymore. We always fought, and he called me lame at every chance he got. Despite this, I still loved him, but I wished things between us would go back to the way they were. With that hope, days went by as we grew further apart. I tried to focus on my school achievements to stand out between my classmates, but the real reason for my effort was because I felt like I needed to prove to everyone that I wasn't anything like my brother, which was sometimes a really hard job. Whenever I meet new people, their attitude would change as soon as they knew that my brother was Matthew. Most times, that was enough of a reason for them to stay away from me. However, I didn't really mind, and I kept myself isolated and didn't socialize much. Until one day, my brother's bad choices somehow managed to ruin my life. It started as a normal day. I got up in the morning, had breakfast with the rest of my family, and went up to get ready for school while Mom made us sandwiches. I arrived at school and was excited for my first class of the day, which was biology. Miss Andrews was one of my favorite teachers at school, and I always tried to impress her with maintaining an excellent performance at her class. Typically, Mrs. Andrews would check our homework, which of course I didn't mind because I was always prepared. I opened my backpack and looked for my notebook. Something felt different. The bag smelled funny, and my stuff was not in there. I started taking out the things in the bag as I was realizing that this bag was not mine. It was Matthew's stinky bag. Ugh! How didn't I notice that I was carrying his bag? My mom's idea of getting us both the same black bag she found on sale has definitely proven its failure. With all these thoughts going through my head, I didn't notice that everyone was staring at me. They all looked shocked as if they saw a ghost. I started thinking how I shouldn't have made a scene by taking out all of the stuff from the bag, but it seems like they were already overreacting to what happened. I looked at Mrs. Andrews, hoping that she'll say something to take the attention away from me, but instead she looked horrified as she was staring at my desk. That moment, I understood that something was terribly wrong. I looked at my desk where I had piled all the stuff from the bag, and on top of them, there was a stash of white pills that were divided into small transparent plastic bags. My heart started beating fast, and I couldn't move my body. This was Matthew's. And now everyone's thinking that I'm carrying drugs around. Shortly after, I was sent to the principal's office, obviously. The principal asked me if the drugs were mine. With a shaking voice, I answered yes. I don't know why I took the blame, but I couldn't bring myself to tell on my brother. The principal looked disappointed and said, "Turns out you're just as bad as your brother." My parents arrived within a few minutes, and after they spent 2 hours in the principal's office, they got out, looked at me in a way that I'll never forget, and my mom said, "You got expelled from school. Bravo, Ashley. We're proud of you." The principal thankfully respects us, and this is why the scandal only ended with expulsion. During the ride home, my parents were very angry. They kept screaming at me and blaming me for becoming one of those. They said they had always thought of me as the good child, but now I proved that wrong. I think my parents were never as angry in their whole life. They said I was their hope, and now I ruined their reputation in the town, too. And they wish they could know what they did wrong raising me and Matthew. They didn't stop listing all the reasons in the world to be disappointed. I was heartbroken, but said nothing. As soon as we got home, I had only one thing in my mind. I rushed into Matt's room, fuming with anger at him. I slammed the door shut after I entered and simply started to cry and shout at him for putting me in this position. I explained to him that I took the blame on myself because everyone was giving him a last chance to behave, and I didn't want him to lose everything. It was the first time in several years that I look into Matthew's eyes, and I tell him that I love him. I told him that he will always be my precious brother that I care about more than he can even imagine. Matthew's eyes filled with tears as he came up to me and hugged me. He apologized and promised to change all his lifestyle and focus more on what matters. That was his thank you, and I couldn't be any happier. What happened after that was a good result of a very bad situation.
My stepbrother is my soulmate. Hello, my name is Caroline, and when I was 10, my parents divorced. I didn't really understand what was going on because I was quite young, and only a few years later my mum was already marrying another man. It all seemed a bit quick to me, but seeing as I still got to spend every weekend with my dad, I couldn't complain too much. Now I have 2 houses and 2 bedrooms, and my dad is a real adventurer, so we always have the best times together. I am an only child, but when my mum remarried, Her new husband, Max, started inviting his son Lewis to come and stay at our house. Seeing as I'd never had siblings, this was pretty cool. Lewis is the same age as me and we have so much in common. I was so surprised when we first met and he was actually interested in the books I like and the movies too. None of my friends like watching old movies, but I'm obsessed with the old classics. And Lewis is too. So whenever he comes to stay, we always have a movie marathon. During that first year of my mum being married to Max, we went on a big summer vacation together. My mum, Max, me and Lewis. Even though I missed my dad that summer, it was so nice to finally have someone my age to hang out with. I realized Lewis was my stepbrother, but it felt so weird to think of him like that. He seemed more like a long-lost friend. I thought siblings were meant to fight. The whole month we were on vacation, Lewis and I never fought once. In fact, we had the best time ever. It's like he always knew exactly how I was feeling. One day I was really sad because my dad called and said our cat, Molly, had been run over and the vet had to put her down. I cried so much, and Lewis was there for me. He went out and bought us ice cream and downloaded our favorite movie to watch. We lay on the sofa together and watched it, and I just felt so calm with him there. He really cheered me up. When the vacation ended and we had to go back to school, I was secretly so upset. It meant I wouldn't see him every day, and I'd got so used to that. Now it was back to our normal routine and different schools, and of course different homes, because Lewis stayed with his mom. He always came to stay with us on weekends, but that was normally the time I'd spend with my dad. One weekend I pretended to my dad that I was sick, so that I could stay at home. I didn't really understand why I was doing this. I just knew I wanted to watch movies with Lewis. My dad told me to get better soon and that he'd pop round on the Sunday night with some soup. My mom and Max were going out on a date night, and Lewis had invited some friends around for pizza and movies. I didn't mind because his friends had become my friends too, and he thought maybe they would cheer me up and help my mystery illness go away. Then he winked at me. I think he knew I was faking it, but to be honest, he seemed pretty happy that I was sick. So after everyone had arrived and we'd ordered the pizzas, we put on a movie. It was a pretty funny movie, but there was this one moment near the end where I always got sad every time I watched it. When it got to that part, everyone was laughing. Everyone except me and Lewis. At the exact same moment, we looked at each other and said the next line coming up in the movie. It was such a crazy feeling. I didn't know Lewis even knew this movie, and yet we both felt the same way about it. I actually had a tear running down my cheek. Everyone stopped laughing and realized we hadn't laughed. They all looked a bit shocked, as suddenly Lewis turned to me and took my hands and said he had something to tell me. He said, ever since that first day we met, he'd liked me. I told him I liked him too. But then he said, no, he likes me in a different way. Not like in a brother-sister way. I could feel myself blushing, but I also felt so comfortable, even though everyone was watching us. He looked me straight in the eyes and then he said, I love you, Caroline. I don't care what people might say or think, but I know in my heart that you are my soulmate. You're the one I've been searching for, and I can't believe how amazing our connection is. I couldn't stop smiling, and I reached out to him and gave him the biggest hug. Even though there were other people in the room, I didn't care. Hugging Lewis and hearing him say he loved me was the best feeling in the world. We started talking about how crazy it is, how much we have in common, and how complete our life feels now that we've met each other. And the whole time we were hugging, I could hear our friends gasping in shock, and Lewis's best friend Gary actually got up and left, saying how wrong this was. But nothing else mattered except our love for each other. What do you think of this story? Please feel free to share your comments and stories in the comment section below. And don't...
Hi, my name is Samira, and something crazy happened to me at school recently. So, I was born and raised in California, but my heritage is Saudi Arabian. I don't speak Arabic except for a few words, and I've never been to Saudi Arabia. I have light brown skin and black hair, and I get a lot of questions from kids at school about whether I'm Muslim and where I'm from. It gets so annoying. I'm proud of my heritage. But I just want to be me. Recently, there was a terrorist attack in England, and after that, the bullying I faced at school got worse. My last name is Hamid, and the terrorist suspect had the last name Habib. Totally different names, but I guess they sound the same to Westerners. So people started connecting the two. One of my best friends is the student editor of the school newspaper. Her family is super wealthy and donates a lot of money to school. Her name is Aliyah, and her heritage is Arabic too, but people don't bully her. They love her. Maybe because she's rich, or because she's lighter skinned than me, or because her mom married a man with a Western-sounding last name. I thought about telling her what people were saying to me, but I never got the courage. I just wanted to deal with it myself. One day, a couple of guys at school ganged up on me and poured juice over me and called me a raghead and a camel jockey. I was so upset. I ran home from school crying and wouldn't even come out of my room for dinner. Aliyah texted me to ask if I wanted to come over, but I lied and said I had a headache. Then came the worst part. I was in the hallway the next day, on my way to math, when the principal, Mr. Smith, stopped me. He asked me where I'm from. I said, California. And he said, no, where are you from? Like, originally. I was confused, mostly because I expected this stuff from other students. But it seemed like a grown man should know better. I repeated that I was from here. And he said, word for word, he said, you can't be from here. Look at you. I stayed calm and told him again that I was born and raised here in California. Then he said, isn't your name Habib, like the terrorist? Is he one of your relatives? That hit me like a punch to the gut. It was on the tip of my tongue to say, sarcastically, yes, hundreds of thousands of Arabs have the same last name, so we must all be related, just like you're related to every other Smith in this country. Or to point out that Habib wasn't even my last name. But he was the principal, so I stayed quiet. Inside, I was horrified. I couldn't stop shaking in class. If this was what the principal thought of me, no wonder other kids kept bullying me. I agonized all evening about what to do. Finally, I decided it was time to call Aliyah. I told her everything. She was angry on my behalf and came up with a plan. She told me I should try to cross paths with Principal Smith the next day before math class. The next day, my heart was pounding as I walked past Principal Smith in the hall. But I saw Aliyah nearby, and that renewed my determination to go through with the plan. I purposely tripped over the principal's shoe as he stood there. Whoa, watch where you're going, he called. Then he saw it was me. His eyes narrowed. Oh, it's you. You're still here. Hey, you Muslim, Habib, like the terrorist. You know what? Why don't you just go back to where you came from? We don't want people like you in this fine school or country. Find yourself a camel and leave. A couple of students walking by overheard him and laughed. I forced myself to endure the humiliation calmly. I knew Aliyah was right there. When Principal Smith finally walked away, I ran over to Aliyah. Did you get it? I asked. She grinned. Every word. The next day, an article ran in the school paper about Principal Smith's bigotry. The digital edition even included a recording of him talking to me. I wasn't sure how people would react, if they would even care. But Aliyah assured me people were talking about the article. She said the story was even going to be on the local news that night. The day after that, I walked into the school courtyard to the most amazing sight. About 200 of my classmates were gathered in rows, holding two gigantic signs. One said, Samira, you belong here. And the other said, Principal Smith, you don't belong here. We don't want you. I was so shocked. Tears came to my eyes. I didn't even know what to say to my classmates. But luckily, Aliyah told them how thankful I was. I heard later that afternoon that Principal Smith had been fired. I threw my arms around Aliyah and told her she was my hero. You're the real hero, she told me. You're the one who went through all that bullying. You remain such a kind, positive person. I realized maybe she was right, that my positivity had more power than the bully's cruel words. So guys, remember, we're all one. And the only people there's no room in this world for are the racists. What do you think of this story?
Hi, my name is Peter. I would like to tell you the story about me and my brother Sam. It's a story about our awkward relationship. I think it's important to tell you, and I hope you'll understand why. Sam is 9 years older than me, and you know, we are different. And it's not just because of our age. My older brother always had zillions of friends, and I'm not a reclusive, but I've only ever had a few friends, and I don't need any more. But there is one thing in common that unites Sam and I. We were both never that close with our parents. This situation somehow just developed that way, and we never thought that there was something wrong with it. I bet 100 to 1 that some of you will say that we grew up in a toxic atmosphere. But I don't think so. I can't say that my parents are wonderful people, but I wouldn't call them bad either. You see, the thing is that all of us, my father, my mother, my brother, and I, are pretty closed-off people, not used to sharing their problems with the rest of the world. Once, my father had serious problems at work, and we were left with no money, not even to live on. But he overcame these problems without even saying a word. My mother finally found out, and there was a huge fight. Nobody can match my mother in the art of the argument. But not because she is evil, oh no. She just has a very hot temper. And she was always very strict with my father. I think she wanted more from him than he was able to offer her. However, these types of arguments between our parents rarely happened, and it was always clean and cozy in our house, and we had all of our meals together at one table, but there was never much small talk during these dinners. Maybe it was because seeing conflicts between our parents was unbearable. One argument happened because of Sam's education. He decided not to enroll in college after high school. He saw his future in the service sector and wanted to start getting real job experience as soon as possible. Our father approved of the idea. He liked the concept of moving towards success through labor, especially considering that the college tuition would have seriously affected the family budget. But my mother? Oh, you can't even imagine how my mother reacted. She refused to speak to Sam, dwelling on the thought that he had just fallen under the influence of his father. A hopeless loser, as she said, who wanted to also ruin his children's lives. That, more or less, was the way every conflict started, and as a result, they did a lot of bad-mouthing each other. My mother would yell that he destroyed her life. My father would reply that she had eaten him alive. Sometimes they went as far as accusing each other of cheating. I preferred not to take any of this seriously. I tried to sort of switch them off, but it was pretty hard to not hear your parents screaming about how they hate each other. Sam, I think, took these incidents a bit lighter, especially when he grew up, started to earn his own money, and could have left the house if he wanted to. I was envious of his maturity and freedom. Well, I would be forced to grow up soon enough. I was 14 when it happened. The evening was pretty ordinary, except for the news that our grandmother from Paris would be visiting us. And you ought to know that she is a very eccentric person, and even a family visit comes as quite a surprise. First of all, Granny hates Parisian taxi drivers, considering them shameless crooks. Taxis in America were also blacklisted for some unknown reason, so she insisted that my father pick her up from the airport. Second, she tells us she's visiting once she has literally already boarded the plane. At that day, my father was particularly upset about the odds of having to go to the airport to pick his mother-in-law up. He had had a really exhausting day at work. Sam could have saved the day, but he had been drinking at a bar, so he could not drive, which meant my father had to go. He was very, very annoyed, and he was being super open with my mother about the fact that he had to spend his scarce time off to deal with her mother's quirks. My mother started to boil. A new argument was brewing. Sam gave up and went to his room. I went upstairs to my bedroom. I saw from the window that my mother and father were walking to the car together. It seemed like they had arrived at a compromise, but both were still really angry and were arguing as they walked. I did not want to hear it, so I closed the window and went to bed. At about 3 a.m., I was awoken by the sound of a phone call in the next room, Sam's room. And when I entered, I saw him sitting on his bed, burying his face in his hands. It was a loss of control. And, you know, it happens. The driver is tired, like our father was, so something distracts the driver from the road. Like, for example, an argument with somebody in the passenger seat. If you were watching my story, just remember, these things can end up badly. My mother and father did not survive the accident. It is hard to describe the feeling when you find out that your parents are gone. Yesterday, everything was, well, far from ideal, but, you know, it was. And now it's all ruined, and nothing will be like it used to be. And also the feeling of loneliness, which comes after the shock and grief are gone. Now I am 16, and I've been an orphan for 2 years already. And I'm just now able to share my emotions with those who are luckier than me. It was good that Grandma was with us at the moment. She helped us figure out all the formalities. She organized the funeral and paid all the expenses. She even helped us get insurance money, which allowed Sam and I some money to live on for a while. But then, Granny said that her help to her beloved grandchildren was over. She could not take us back to her tiny apartment in Paris, and she did not want to move to the United States. So she said, au revoir, and flew back to France. And I thought that I'd gotten seriously stuck. The last thing I expected was for Sam to go through the motions and arrange for guardianship of me. But that was exactly what he did. He had a job and earned a small but steady income, and I was grown up enough to live with my older brother by that time. All the formalities were settled, but this was only the beginning of our problems. The first problem we encountered was that Sam could not afford our parents' house, so we moved to a cheap apartment with 2 tiny bedrooms, separated by a wall so thin that even a simple nail could break through it. Now, my brother and I had to live much closer to each other than we were used to or wanted. The 9 years is not such a big difference in age, but we always took very little interest in each other's lives. We had never even gone to the movies together. And we did not have mutual friends that could bring us at least a little bit closer. So, locked together in this tiny apartment, we started to annoy each other. But there were also more basic problems. For instance, Sam refused to take part in any housekeeping duties. Oh gosh, how mad I would get that he had just left it all for me, with the excuse that he earned the money for both of us. I had to wash my clothes and his, I had to clean the apartment, and I even had to learn to cook. My mother kept the house neat, but never taught us anything about an independent life. So at the beginning I felt clumsy and helpless, but honestly, it was just little things. There was something much worse. You see, I don't have many friends, especially ones that I would invite to visit. But if Sam came home from work and saw any of them, he did not even try to hide the fact that he was annoyed. He didn't want to see high school kids at his house when he wanted to come home and relax after a hard work day. So I stopped inviting friends to our house altogether. But that was not fair, because Sam invited friends at any time, even at night. And every time when he threw a party in our apartment, he asked me to go and take a walk. Finally, I got fed up with that, and I decided not to come back home at the agreed upon time. I did not pick up the phone when Sam called, and it made me happy to think that he was worried. But not because I wanted him to care about me, it was my revenge against Sam for all his behavior. I did not have any money, so I just hung around the city all night, hiding from the police patrols. But Sam finally found me. It was already late morning. I saw his red, tired eyes and realized that he had been looking for me all night long, driving his used car. Later on, I accidentally found out that he skipped his shift that morning and nearly got fired. Neither of us apologized for that night. In fact, we've never talked about it. But since then, we both did not object to any visitors at the house. But Sam's friends did not forget how I framed my older brother, and they disliked me. They started to joke and even made fun of me when Sam was not looking. They never took it too far, so I did not tell Sam about them, but it was unpleasant to listen to mean jokes from adult guys. I could have probably asked Sam to talk to them, but I did not want to tell him about my problems. The only person from my brother's circle who was kind to me was his girlfriend, Jane. She was 20 years old, and she was very nice and pretty. I sincerely could not understand the reason why she was dating my ill-tempered brother. I realized that Jane felt pity for me, but I still felt flattered by her attention. When she came home before Sam had returned from work, She would talk to me, and it felt so easy to communicate with her. I did not feel like she was older than me. One day I realized that I had never talked to anybody else as openly as I did with Jane. I started to envy Sam, that he had such a wonderful girlfriend. And then I made a big mistake. Once, Jane came home before Sam, like most other ordinary days. We chatted and ate ice cream, and then you know, Jane was very nice to me in a special way. She touched my hand every now and then she said that I had an ice cream mustache and brushed it away with her finger, laughing so sweetly. Well, I tried to kiss her. I do not know what I was thinking about trying to kiss my brother's girlfriend, but I almost did it. And what happened next literally destroyed me. It looked like the devil had suddenly possessed Jane. She slapped my face, she screamed, and then she called Sam in her cell and, crying, started to ask him to come home as soon as possible. But my brother was already nearby and was there within a minute. And then Jane accused me of harassing her. Can you imagine? She cried and repeated that I had attacked her, but it was a lie. I was shocked, but Jane's next words finished me. Crying on, she demanded that Sam get rid of the juvenile delinquent in this house. And then I understood that all Jane's kindness with me was a lie. She was just looking for a way to get rid of me. I had heard many times that she would like to move in with Sam if they had the opportunity. I left the apartment and rushed down the stairs, but I only managed to reach the nearby bench because I burst into tears. Because of the resentment toward Jane, because I detested myself, because the world was an incredibly unfair place. I got myself together when Sam sat near me and put a Coke in my hands. He kept silent for a while, and then he said calmly and easily that he did not believe Jane, and that we would not see her again. I am not sure, but maybe for the first time since I was a kid, I hugged my brother, and I understood with shame and happiness how wrong I was about him. There is nobody else I trust in this unfair world apart from Sam, my brother. Well, this is my story. It will hopefully help someone realize that you should only look for support from your family. Otherwise, you can end up making...
Yeah, so like,
Fortnite decided to go ahead and add a few new sniper modes. Well, you already know that means we have to make a masterpiece. Hey, is it recording?
Yeah.
Is it? Are we good? We're right? Because I'm going to play these sniper modes, and I'm going to need you to get this all on film, okay? Don't fuck it up. You got it, buddy? Yeah, I got it. Alright, cool. Now, is there anything else that you want to say to everyone watching right now?
Make sure to like, subscribe, and use code XCMFriendly in the item shop.
Yeah, no, that's real good. Now please take your seats and enjoy this banger video. What the fuck is this guy even Later, Whoa, what the fuck? Pretty good, by the way. Oh, the double